My name is Thomas, and in this video I'm going to be explaining the entire Nissan lineup. Specifically for 2019. It's officially a new year, it's January now, which means there's new cars and new lineups for all of the companies. So today we're going to be breaking down the Nissan lineup for 2019. Now, because it's January, it's a little weird. There's sun in my face and there's ice on the ground here in Canada. It's very, very weird, and that also explains why this Qashqai is so dirty, even though it was washed yesterday. Actually, you know what? That's a little better, now I can see. That would also explain why it's only 3:30 and the sun is setting like it's 8 o'clock. Now, enough of the mumbo jumbo, I want to get into the details, but just before I do, the last thing I need to explain is that I'm Canadian, and all these numbers and all the specs and all the features here are going to be for Canadians. If you're American and you're watching this, which I assume you are, then this will count for you as well, and I'll be translating a lot of it for you. But if you're from Africa or Europe, these are going to be very different for you, and your lineups are going to be a little different from what we have here in America and Canada. So enough of the mumbo jumbo, let's get into all the details. For 2019, this is the list of cars that Nissan has put out. And at first glance, it may look a little confusing, and there's a ton of cars. In fact, there's a total of 26 cars there. But if you look closely, there are a lot of duplicates. Because it's only January, Nissan is still offering 2018s and 2019s for certain models. So in reality, there's only between 16 and 18 new cars for 2019, depending on how you look at it. There's 16 models, but then there's 2 cars that have a couple variations. And those 2 cars are the Titan and the Titan XD, and then the 370Z Roadster and the 370Z Coupe. Now, do keep in mind that all those prices are in Canadian, so if you're American and you're sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, that's so expensive, it's gotten up so much for 2019, don't worry, it's not that price for 2019 for you guys, just us Canadians. RIP our bank accounts. We're going to start off with the shortest part of this list, electric cars. And I say that as a plural, but it's really singular. There's only one of them, the Nissan Leaf. That's it for electric cars. Moving on to the sports cars that Nissan makes, there are 2.5, I guess. There's the 370Z and the GTR. Now the 370Z, there's the Roadster and the Coupe, which is why I say half. And I guess an unrelated side note, they just released the Italy design GTR 50, which is over $1 million in price. So I guess the GTR also has a half part to it as well. But that car isn't going into full production, and they're only just going to be making 50 of them, hence the name GTR 50. Now moving on to the trucks, probably one of my favorite parts. There are, again, I guess 2.5 trucks. There is the Frontier, and then there's the Titan and the Titan XD. There is a big price difference, more than 10 grand, between the Titan XD and the normal Titan. As for your regular cars, this is Nissan's second biggest category. There are 5 options, starting off with the Maxima, and then there is the Ultima, the Sentra, the Versanote, and then last but not least, the Micra. Now the Micra, I love the Micra. It's got so much character, but most importantly, it is one of Canada's cheapest vehicles. And if you ever get muddled up between the Maxima and the Ultima, just keep in mind that Maxima is like maximum. They give you the maximum amount of extras and options on that vehicle. So that's the way you remember that it is the top of the lineup. And last but certainly not least, there is the crossover and SUV category. There are a grand total of 6 vehicles in this category that Nissan offers. The biggest and the baddest is the Armada. Just under that is the Pathfinder, and then below that is the Murano, the Rogue, the Qashqai, and then the Kicks. Now, like I mentioned, there are a ton of options in the crossover and SUV lineup that Nissan offers, so I'll make this as simple as I can. The Armada seats 8 people. It is huge. It is a Chieftain tank, and that is actually what my mom chose to drive around in when she had my little brother and I when we were much younger, because she thought that it was the safest thing possible for us as kids to be in, just in case we got in an accident, because nothing, even a big truck, wasn't going to damage the Armada. The Pathfinder is just a little smaller, being able to seat 7 people, and is still extremely spacious and roomy, and is just a little better on gas. Now, the Murano is the most luxurious 5-seater SUV that Nissan puts out. It's very similar to the Rogue, except just slightly more expensive and a lot more luxurious. Now, the Rogue is actually Nissan's best-selling vehicle, and I feel like it's all the marketing that they did when Star Wars came out, the Rogue movie, and they just marketed the crap out of it. But on top of that, it is also the happy medium Nissan. It seats 5 people very comfortably. It's good on gas, and it kind of is a mix of everything. You can still fit your skis and snowboard in it. You can still fit your kids in it. After the Rogue is the Qashqai. And I must explain, if you're American and you're watching this, you're probably thinking, Qashqai? What the heck, we don't have a Qashqai. And that's because the head of Nissan in America thought, no, the Qashqai name is way too ridiculous for us. We're just call it the Rogue Sport. So the reason it's called the Rogue Sport is because that's really all it is. It's just a slightly smaller and a slightly more compact Rogue, hence the name Rogue Sport. Still seats 5 people and still is very, very similar. If you got inside, all the buttons, the steering wheel are very, very similar, and a lot of the parts are actually the exact same as the Rogue. And finally, the last crossover slash SUV that Nissan offers is the Kicks. And the Kicks is obviously the smallest one in that lineup there. Still seats 5 people, it's just a little more of a squeeze. And that's it, that's the entire Nissan lineup. So thank you guys so much for watching, subscribe, and hit the like button if you found this video interesting and learned something new. Hopefully I help you in your purchase of a new Nissan and made things a lot easier for you. I gotta end the video here because we are about to be pitch black in about 2 minutes. Thanks for watching, peace. Holy cow, the sun sets fast.